Aisha and welcome to belly dance tutorials. Today we're going to focus on snake arms, one of the staple belly dance moves, and we're going to do a quick fix today. So standard snake arms look kind of like this, like slow speed. They can be a little faster or even slower. Well, what happens sometimes, and I see sometimes in shows, people are doing the snake arms kind of like this. And this is not looking good. And we're going to look into the movement and see how we can fix this. First of all, we are going to talk about the 3 joints in the arm: shoulder, elbow, wrist. 3 joints on each side. And what we're trying to accomplish is to lift shoulder, lift elbow, lift wrist, and then lower shoulder, lower elbow, lower wrist. So we are thinking of 3 parts of our arms. So we're gonna lift shoulder, lift elbow, lift wrist, lower shoulder, lower elbow, lower wrist. Up, up, up. So we are creating this curve down, and then down, down, down. We are creating a curve up. So that's our goal, to create a curve down and a curve up. Curve down, curve up. We're lifting shoulder, elbow, wrist. We are lowering shoulder, elbow, wrist. Always the movement is initiated in the shoulder. So if you don't think of anything else, just think of your shoulders. This is what you have to start moving first, and everything else will come into place after that. Now, what happens after I lift my shoulder, lift my elbow, lift my wrist? When I lower the shoulder, the shoulder is gonna do a slight rotation movement toward the back, and so will the elbows do, which is fine. This is the mechanic of this joint. So there will be a slight rotation back. So don't worry about that. It happens. Now, the other thing that's very important to notice is that the fingers actually travel very little in space. The fingers don't do a large movement up and down. They do a very, very limited movement. And I'm gonna demonstrate this with a reference point. So this is my reference point here, this little bulb, little sphere. And my fingers are in this area, very close. And when I'm doing the snake arm, my finger travels very little. Up, 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 down, down, down. The elbow actually travels the most, up and down. The biggest range is in the elbow. The fingers are traveling in a very narrow range. So try this again. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Up, 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 down, down, down. Up, 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 down, down, down. So see the fingers, actually only the tip of the fingers are traveling in a very narrow range in space, and the part that travels the most is actually the elbow. But again, very important to lead the movement with the shoulders. This is how we initiate a move. So I will demonstrate it from the back now. And it's very nice when you are facing away from the audience, so your back is toward the audience. It's very important to do a really nice big shoulder movement. I'm going to travel a little bit forward. So it's a very big shoulder movement. So my shoulders are lifting and lowering a lot. Now, because this is a larger movement, my fingers are traveling more in space, but that's okay for now. So, because my movement starts in the shoulders, so it's very nice and big shoulder movement here. And this looks very pretty from the back. So, more shoulder, less hands. All right. So, there are always exceptions or the ways to style this movement. For instance, if you start snake arms from a lower position of the arms, there won't be so much shoulder involved, not too much shoulder, but I'm still looking for the curve in my arms. So I'm leading with the elbow and the wrist. Yeah, so I'm looking for this curve down, curve up, even though I'm not using the shoulders that much. But as I'm lifting the arms, I'm raising the arms to a higher level, I start to use more shoulders. I'm involving the shoulders a little more. And you can actually go all the way up with lifting the shoulders. So, see, here I'm lifting the shoulders. This is a variation of the snake arms. It's the same technique except that my arms are vertical. Very nice to add some body waves. One more time. All right. Now, once you get very comfortable with the move, you can decide how much shoulder to involve in the movement. Even if you do the standard arms, sometimes you don't want to involve too much shoulder because of the nature of the song. You have to match the movements to the song. If it's very soft and very elegant and graceful, maybe you don't want to put that much shoulder, which is more sensual. But if the song is like a low pitch, sultry, sensual, you can definitely add more shoulder to represent the music better. So, for instance, I'll play a song right now, and it's a song that's a lower pitch, very sultry, and for this kind of song, I would involve shoulders more. I would do a very large shoulder movement. So let's do it. Okay. See? All right. I'm gonna start from a lower position, and I'm gonna lift my arms. Example of a song. Let's see other things with this movement. Okay, so going back to our quick fix. What is the quick fix actually in this lesson? Is to use the shoulders more instead of, I don't know, elbows or hands or whatever. So initiate the movement with the shoulder. And the other thing is to keep your fingers in a very narrow range in space. Yeah? So, first thing, lift the shoulders, forward the shoulders. And second thing is to move your fingers very little in space, even though the wrist will move actually a lot. The elbow and the wrist will move a lot in space. But we'll talk about wrist and their role in our movements later. They deserve a video of their own. But for now, just remember the fingertips, they don't travel a lot. And start the movement with the shoulders. All right, hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like my video if you liked it and to subscribe to my channel, and see you next time. Shimmy, shimmy.